Town Murfreesboro. Chip Walters here, and it's our spring sports show presented by Happy's. Glad to have you along with us. And today is going to be golf day, and what a perfect time of the year to be talking golf, because you've got in the college level, it's all conference tournament time. The NCAAs are coming up, and of course on the pro level, you've got the Masters just got done, and so I'm going to kind of quiz you all a little bit about some of that to my right and to your left as you watch today on Facebook, folks. Coach Mark McIntyre, and Mark, how you doing, man? Oh, what? Try that now.
Everybody's good, Chip. Yep. Thanks for having us out today.
Absolutely. And also Owen Stamper is to my left. And Owen, it's a busy time of year for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Just happy we make it out today.
Yep. All right. Let's kind of let Coach here kind of get folks up to date, because it is the way Conference USA does their tournaments. The women's tournament was this past week, so coming up at the bottom, or close to the bottom of the hour, Chris Adams is going to be here. We're going to, kind of recap their season and their conference tournament. Right now, we're going to be previewing the men's tournament, because it is coming up this week. And, in the spring is when you guys, make your hay, so to speak, as far as being able to get in the NCAA tournament, whether it's by winning or by an at-large situation. But, golf coaches have always told me that the real work comes in the fall to get yourself in position. So kind of give folks a little recap of what this school year has been like leading up to where we are right now.
Yeah, it's been a great year for our program. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited to get to the conference championship. We're going to be losing 4 seniors that have essentially been fixtures in our lineup this year. I'm sad to see that, but also ready to bring some new guys in and some fresh blood, and they don't understand all of our jokes, and they'll think we're funny and we know what we're doing. But to start the year in the fall is very important from a ranking standpoint, because the schedule that we play allows us pretty much after the fall with a good performance that we shouldn't drop. Right now we're kind of on the verge of getting an at-large bid, but we still need to go to conference and we need to play well, and we're telling our players that we need to win to solidify that spot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take anything for granted when it comes to doing that. But Owen, this year has been one that, has been good to you guys as a team, and as Coach mentioned, 4 seniors, and kind of give folks because it's not like, they open up the gates and you guys get big crowds coming out, but obviously conference tournament, there's more people that come around, but kind of introduce the folks who may be watching to the guys who are the movers and shakers on this team, including yourself, first of all.
Yeah, this group of seniors, we've been together all 4 years, some to a couple extra years before we got here, but we love them too. But throughout the season, we see a lot of our family, our friends on the road when they can make it out. But of course, this time of year, we played Vanderbilt 2 events ago, and there was large crowds out there because everybody loves to come watch golf, and Masters and spring was in the air. So
and there were so many good local teams there. Yourself, Vandy, and it was close. It was over at the Legends over in Franklin. So
yeah, so that was awesome. This group of seniors, we've been through a lot together, a lot of great times. We're really looking forward to this little last postseason push together. As Coach talked about, going in and winning conference, we know what we need to do, and we're very prepared from the whole season to go out and do our jobs and really do what we want to do. And we love support from the MTSU family and all of our family and friends we see along the road.
Where's the tournament going to be this year?
Texarkana.
Again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the women's changed venues this year, I think, and we'll talk to Christy about that in a minute, but you talk about those 4 seniors, Mark, and 3 of these guys, Owen has been Conference Player of the Week 3 times, Michael Bernard twice, Kevin Jeggers has been there twice, so it has been, you've had guys who have really come out and performed well throughout the year. And the great part for you as a head coach, you're not a one-trick pony team. I mean, you've got guys in all the spots.
No, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that we've struggled with and what we're trying to really do a nice job of this semester is identifying who our fifth player is. We struggled with that pretty much the first 4 or 5 tournaments of the spring. But Luke did a really nice job last week, and we're going to go with him and give him the nod for the conference championship. We have some thoroughbreds. I mean, obviously, Owen has a resume that speaks of itself. 2-time individual champion.
Reigning conference player of the year.
Conference player of the year, in the front seat to do that again. Michael Bernard has won the conference championship. Kevin Yeagers has 2 wins, and the lowest 54-hole short
Yeah, 54-hole.
Start tournament for shooting 200 for a tournament. So we've got 3 guys that it's time for them to go. It's time for them to show. We need to send them out on top.
I tell you, I'm not real smart, but 200 over 54 holes, that's pretty good 3-day average.
Yeah, he didn't hit the golf ball a lot that week.
Yeah,
So
that's
it was
right.
good to see.
See, my whole point has always been with my golf game is I really get my money's worth when I go out there. My cost per hole goes way down.
That's really good.
Or cost per shot goes way down when I'm out there. Did you feel like, coming back this year as the reigning conference player of the year, it can be, a lot of times can be one of 2 things. Did you feel pressure or did you feel confident coming back? How did you manage that in your own mind?
I mean, anybody that says there's no pressure or outside pressure just is straight lying to you. You hear it a lot. There's a lot of questions asked, but at the same time, it builds into your confidence because we play the same golf courses. You know what needs to be done on the same golf courses, and you've proven to yourself that you can be successful and you can be at the top. So it's just that feeds into your success, and once you tee it up, you can't put that added pressure on you. You just got to go play golf and be you. And that is the best part about it to me because everything you do throughout the season builds up to the results at the end. That's what we preach is process over product. And everything on the results end of it will take care of it if your process is really good, and that's what we just commit to every day.
Yeah. And to have him, the one thing with having Owen, is with all the other guys as well, is that you pretty much, I mean, I know he's going to go out and shoot 62 every day or whatever, but there's a shot, there's a chance for that, and it helps you make your lineup out.
It does, and it helps us from a coaching standpoint. What we've done this semester and years, essentially work with the 4 and 5 guy. That's allowed us to get Marcus Vargin the opportunity to replace one of these guys because next year he's going to be the guy that needs to fill some of these shoes. So we've essentially been working with them and our 5 guy, trying to just get them rounds, teaching them what we need, expectations, getting rounds out of them, and just letting these guys go.
You guys won the Charleston Southern Tournament in October by 2 strokes, and you're talking about a 3-day event, 5 guys playing, and you win it by 2 strokes. And we're talking 2 strokes over about 800 over a week, that kind of thing, in that ballpark.
850.
Yeah, 850 strokes, and you win it by 2. I was out on Sunday and watched men's tennis win the doubles point against Tulane by coming from behind, and that's some big time stuff right there, and what it does, it just emphasizes the point that you can't take a hole off. I mean, because you take one hole off and you put up, Lord knows, put up one of my snowmen or whatever on your card, that one hole by one player could be the difference between winning and finishing second.
Oh yeah, we fully agree. I mean, we're very stubborn, but they beat into our heads every day that every shot matters. Because when you get to this time of year, every shot does matter from a ranking standpoint. And when you look at the process throughout the year and even over the 3 days, it's like, well, that one shot you took off could ultimately make the difference in a win or a second, And so we constantly try to focus on every shot, wherever it ends up. You just got to do your best from there.
Yeah.
And as you know, that builds up over time up to around the 850 number and where it shakes out at the end. So
We'll talk a little bit about that tournament down in South Carolina and how it all played out.
So
I think you took that week off, didn't you?
yeah, I think I took that week off. That wasn't my best personal week, but I knew the guys.
You get to watch it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody else was playing very good.
How did I pick that up? Of all the things I could ask.
He was there.
I was playing, just wasn't playing my best, which that's the ebbs and flows of golf. But I knew the team was playing good, and I knew that even though I didn't have my best, that I still needed to contribute for the rounds. And we had a great round out of Gavin that last round. I mean, he played great.
Sure did.
And that ultimately pushed us over the edge. And going down the stretch, I didn't think I was going to count that final round. And then the 18th fairway, Jason was like, hey, by the way, you're counting. So, like, we need you to push through right here. And so it was good, and it was really good to see because we'd been playing solid all fall, and then finally push over that edge for the win because every week we're trying to win. So that was awesome.
Was that tournament, Mark, kind of capping off what was a really good fall? What were your other stops in the fall?
In the fall, we went to Squire Creek, where Owen started with an individual victory. And then from there, we went to Cincinnati, went to Wisconsin, which was the first time. I really liked that golf course.
Johnny Moore used to say that he never went north for golf tournaments. Now, you've changed that a little bit.
I'm not trying to get bad. We're trying it. And it was nice. We had a good time. I think the guys played well and lost by a shot.
Yeah, lost by a shot in Wisconsin.
So
that
was
one
good.
stung.
Well, it stung a little bit, but it was nice to get a victory.
Well, early fall, that is a beautiful place.
Well, it's a beautiful place, and I would definitely go back in the early part of the fall, but not much later.
Yeah, I would guess so. Now, you ride that and you get that victory down at Charleston Southern. That moves you into the spring. And outside of, we mentioned the Vanderbilt tournament over in Franklin, where else did you all play, and who were some of the programs that you were up against this spring?
Yeah, I mean, we've played with everybody. We played with the top teams in the country, and we opened up in Vegas. Then we went from there, we went to Hilton Head to play Michigan State's event. From there, the Shingle, which is my personal favorite tournament of the year, the one that I look forward to going every year. And the last
because you all dominate it.
We played well there. It was great to play the last 2 rounds with Florida, the defending national champions. They ended up beating us by 4 shots. And then just kind of against the rules, allowed to beat Notre Dame on St. Patty's Day. So they just clipped us by 1 or 2 in the last closing goals. But the thing that I like about it is our guys were able to see the best players in the country, defending national champions, played with Alabama, played with Vanderbilt. And our games hung with them, which was nice.
And now you go into the conference tournament next week. Talk about the layout at Texarkana because, I mean, all of your guys should be pretty familiar with it because it's been there for a while now, right?
It's been every year that I've been the coach, so and I know that they've had it there before we got here. But it's a great golf course. It's a great match play golf course. From a coaching standpoint, it's one of the hardest tournaments to coach because you're not trying to win. You're just trying to get into match play. And once we get into match play, we will turn these guys loose and let them do their jobs. But you just got to finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
So you set up a game plan and you put a plan in place to do that, and then you completely throw that out of the window and you come up with something new for the final round of match play and just let them just go mano a mano.
Yeah. How much are you, once a round starts, how much are you allowed to talk to your guys?
Well, we can do everything with them.
Oh, you can? Okay.
So me and Jason and I, we can talk to them. We can help them with clubs. We can walk with them. We can essentially do everything but carry the golf bag for them. So we try and do a lot of preparation during our practice rounds and then the rounds before the nights, going over the pin sheets, where the misses are, if anybody's got any questions. But really, once the sound goes off, we just kind of let them do their thing. We trust them. They know what to do.
So are you okay with that, or would you like to see them say, hey, they can't bother you when you're playing?
No, it's perfect. I just want somebody to talk to. I don't want to talk about golf out there. I just want to talk about hunting or fishing or something, so it's perfect for them.
Well, golfers have to make good decisions throughout their career. Well, Owen is from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and he made a great decision to come south. So we're really proud of you for that. And we've got some Blue Raider golfers scattered about up in Bowling Green, as you well know. But here we go into this tournament, conference tournament coming up, and again, you guys are going to be looked at as a favorite. Do you all relish being in that position?
I mean, in my opinion, the favorites and the underdogs, like that all gets pushed aside when it comes to on the first tee. We know that we have a very good chance at winning, and we know that our goal for the week, it's been from day one, conference championship. We won one freshman year, sorry, and we've been trying to get back there ever since. Had a great chance last year and fell a little short, but we know that that's our goal. We have had success on that golf course. All the seniors know it. Marcus knows it too very well, and we feel like we're going to be prepared going into the week, and we're just going to let it happen and see where we end up at the end.
Who do you both feel like are going to be teams that you feel like you've got to play well to get ahead of?
Liberty's been in and out of the mix all year, in contention with us. They beat us a couple times. We beat them a couple times. They've got a really good five-man lineup, and I know that they'll be in the mix of it towards the end. And outside of that, I haven't been keeping up with a lot of other teams, because at the end of the day, if we do what we need to do, I feel like we have a really good chance.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Now the setup for the tournament: 2 rounds of stroke play,
3 rounds.
3 rounds of stroke play, and then match play.
Match play, correct.
Do you, as a coach, and I'm going to ask him the same thing as a player, do you like the match play part of it?
I love it.
Do you?
Coming into the league, I've never done it before. But last year, even it didn't go our way. It was incredible.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about how do you prepare for that? Because it's not something that you all see throughout the regular season at all.
Well, I mean, we'll play a little bit of match play with the guys, and we'll do some team stuff and building and just some inter-squad matches. So we know who can play and who can't. The biggest thing with match plays is the guy that's the most competitive wins.
Yeah.
And the guy that wants it the best. We've been a part of it, and we've been on both sides of it, and I tell you, I think it's one of the best things college golf can do.
Yeah, and for you, it really, you play, you're an individual sport in a team atmosphere, but on match play day, it reverts back to you just being out on the golf course.
Yeah, during stroke play, you're playing the course. You're trying to hit in the proper spots, but match play, everything goes out the window. It's you against the other guy, and you got to get a point for the team. That's all. Their only goal for the day. I've lost holes with birdies and won holes with bogeys. Like, you can make a 12 and be 1 down.
That's what's nice about it.
That's what's great about it.
And I think that's what the guys like about it the most too, Chip. Is if you have a bad hole, it's just 1 hole. If you make an 8, it doesn't hurt your score. It doesn't affect anything. You just go to the next hole. I've even seen some teams. We didn't do it last year, but the way right in front of us, the guy didn't even like the 5th hole. He didn't like the way it worked, so he just gave it to the guy. So
Really?
number 6. He was like, I like this hole.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's unique. But our guys love it. I love seeing the competition. I love the fight, and they love it.
Yeah, and like you said, it is unique, and one of the great things in college golf, and you see it on as well, and that'll be the final day. But again, you talked about, not worrying about winning the whole thing the first 3 days. You've just got to get into the top 4 to get into match play. And how does that change the way you go about things of prepping these guys?
It doesn't. We go in with the same mindset, the same plan. We want to win the individual play as well. That's a nice perk, and with this new ranking system, it may give us the bonus points to get close to that large bid. So that will be a goal. It'll be the same thing that we do every week, try and shoot the lowest score. They'll have a plan for those 3 days, and at the end of those 3 days, if we're in the top 4, then we'll throw that out the window and get ready to play match play.
With the opportunity for additional postseason play coming up, both as a team and individually, as Mark said, we're kind of right at the number, almost at the cut line when it comes to being right now ranked number 71 in the country. You can obviously make some hay this week, and you could, and other teams can hurt themselves. So going in, but also as an individual. With the potential to get there and to play as an individual in the tournament, how much does that excite you as well?
It's a great opportunity whenever you get to tee it up at regionals. That gives you a chance to play the national championship, and that's the goal every year, is to be in the national championship and have a shot at the title. From a team standpoint, I think our guys, we all know the situation. We know we're right on the bubble, and we have to play good this week to give us a shot. And from a player's perspective, I know that our guys, they don't hide away or shy away from the pressure. Mm-hmm. They know what has to happen, and ultimately I believe in the guys that we're going to step up and do it. From an individual standpoint, it's much more fun to play when your team's there.
Absolutely.
I would rather the whole entire team be there, and that's the goal. I'm not really thinking about the individual side like that. That's a bonus at the end of it, but I want all of our guys to be there because ultimately they're the guys who make me better every day and that I grow with. So.
Tell folks, I mean, because it needs a little explaining here, because you have, once you get out of the conference tournament, and we're going to go ahead and say that you're in the NCAA tournament, I just gave you your bid today, and both team and individual, so I'm sure you're going to accept that and move forward. Talk about and tell people how that works as far as once you get to the NCAA and you have your team playing and you have an individual that's in there, does it go concurrently, and how does that work?
So once you get your bid and find out that you're in the regional championship, it's essentially another college golf tournament.
Okay.
With the top 5 teams advancing from each site, and the lowest individual not on a team that advances to the NCAA championship.
Gotcha.
I've had individuals make it, I've had a team make it, and it's kind of a different, it's just shootout. Again, just like in conference, you put a plan into place to just finish in the top 5. And the last day, every shot counts. It always comes down to 1 or 2 shots, especially it seems like every year. So again, you just got to stick to your plan, stick to your process, and shoot the lowest score you can on every hole.
Yep. Did you, that's all coming up, and tell me the days that it's going to be.
So conference will end up on Thursday, and then we'll come back. There's about 2 weeks off. And then I believe
Now, there have been years where the Blue Raider golf team has arrived back on campus for the Raiders' Choice Awards with a conference tournament trophy in hand. So, not saying there's any pressure there, but
Well, that's our full plan. So.
to be rolling in here from Texarkana next Thursday night with a trophy and a bid in hand,
that'd be fantastic.
that would be terrific.
If you're out there listening, we sure would need about an 8-seat airplane to make that happen.
and you're not afraid to ask for that. I know. No, absolutely. So, if you want to get these guys back next Thursday night with a trophy in hand, that would be terrific. Okay, I want to change gears a little bit, and as you mentioned, the golf world really, or the general public, I should say, really starts to wake up to golf this past weekend
100%.
when the Masters took place. Number one, how many trips have you made to Augusta?
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not going to make that question? Well, I promise you, you're not on the same streak that I am of not winning tickets through the lottery. I promise that.
It's
You talk about a tradition unlike any other is me not getting the ticket lottery. But have you ever gone to Augusta?
I haven't been able to make a trip with Coach over there, so still waiting on that invite one day.
Well, I mean, I think the amateur, you need to get that amateur slot.
Yeah,
next year.
We tried this summer and we missed it, but
You gonna try again?
no, I'll turn pro
that's
after
right.
this. So, but with a win on the PGA Tour, you get there or through the top 50 in the world. So that's the plan, is to get up there one day.
Give me your thoughts on what you saw from the Masters this past weekend. And speaking of the amateur, what was the guy's name?
Neil Shipley.
Neil Shipley, who showed up on Sunday and is playing with Tiger. And he and his college buddy, who's going to caddy for him, and from all indications, Tiger just made it an unbelievable experience for him on that day. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're given the situation to shoot 80 at Augusta to play with Tiger on Sunday, I think I'll sign for 80 and see y'all tomorrow. But no, Neil's a great guy. I see him all throughout the summer, and he had a great summer, and his runner-up at the USM was awesome. He really fought hard out there. But him getting to experience Tiger at the Masters was an unbelievable experience, and he fully lived up to the moment. He played well on Sunday, and I think he made a connection for life with Tiger, and that's what every golfer in our age, that's what we hope for.
Yep. And you had a terrific Masters champion this year.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Talk about his play and where he is, because I saw something online somewhere they were breaking down, his and I don't know what all they were breaking down, but they were talking about how he was off the tee, where he ranked, where he, his iron play, averages, and said that there's really, when you take into account all of those different pieces of his game and put them out there, there's not really anybody that's close to him when you average it all out.
Scotty Scheffler is an incredible player. What a lot of people are starting to see is that he's a better person.
Yeah.
And,
well, I thought he did a great job of putting himself out there and allowing people to see just what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those people, like, I remember the first time he won the Masters, he went to Chipotle the next day and placed his order, and the lady asked whether the cheese is extra, and he goes, I can afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just grown in who he is. He still drives the same car that he drove to the University of Texas when he started. So it just tells you he's very well grounded. He's got great people and great crew around him, and he just remembers who he is, which is remarkable.
Who do you like to watch, and who do you watch that helps you make yourself be a better player?
I mean, it's hard not to watch what Scotty's doing from a statistical point of view. His iron play is better than Tiger's was back in 2000, which we never thought would happen again. What he's doing with irons is unbelievable. I mean, the shots he hit down the stretch on the back nine at Augusta on Sunday, I mean, just unbelievable what he was doing with the golf ball. I love watching him compete because he can make a bogey or a birdie and he stays the same. He's very even keel in that factor. And that's something that I strive for on the golf course, because you can ride the roller coaster emotion, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you shoot. It's about how you react to it. I love watching him compete. I love watching Brooks Koepka compete. He's an ultimate competitor when it comes to the major championships, and he just gets it done. And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. My other takeaway from the Masters this year is, how soon is it going to be before Bubba Watson's daughter gets out there? Did you see the putt she was out there snaking on Wednesday? Oh my goodness. She was just absolutely snaking in 20-footers, and she was terrific, and just had the biggest smile on her face and all that. But speaking of smiles, we want to see smiles on the Blue Raiders' faces when you guys get back from Texarkana.
Absolutely.
And I want to wish you all the best of luck. It was it'll be fun to watch you, and fun to be, I guess, on the guys on Twitter and also on GoBlueRaiders.com. And GolfStat, I guess, will have all the
GolfStat will have scores and match results.
So so that'll be coming up, and they can follow along. That all starts on Monday. And so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can follow along on GolfStat and also on all the Blue Raider golf socials. So
that's good. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Anything else you need to add, pull out there? When you turn pro, before we leave, before that happens, you're going to, after you win the NCAA tournament, we'll go ahead and put that out there. So when do you project that your first pro event might be?
I'm going up to Canada this summer, and that starts right at the third week of June. That's the first tournament up there, so that is around the area when we're looking for the first pro start.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, I want to wish you and all your teammates all the best next week, okay?
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Owen. Owen Stamper, Mark McIntyre joining us today on the Spring Sports Show. We'll do a little shifting around and get Chris Adams and company up here, and you guys can, you're released.
Thanks for having us, Jeff.
Hey, thank you. Oh, by the way, love the way you all planned to be here dressed alike today.
Yeah, that was a bogey.
That is outstanding.
It's the first bogey he's ever made.
And I'm going to slip you a little a little note to remember where one of those shirts needs to go. So I'll let you know on that. All right, Blue Raider Men's Golf joining us today. Appreciate them and wish them all the best of luck. So you two can come on up here and take their places. Last week we had tennis here, we had football here, and they all had some fun stuff going on. Football of the spring game, the blue-white spring game was terrific, and one thing that was not a breaking news piece is that Nick Vattiato is good at football, and he showed up and went 15 for 16 throwing the football. A lot of names we knew, a lot of names that were new to the program out there. Again, both the tennis coaches were here last week, and like I mentioned, I had a chance to go out and watch at the new outdoor tennis facility on campus, which is fabulous. And had a chance to watch the Blue Raiders beat Tulane, and that was a lot of fun. So here we are. Now, as we turn the page to women's golf, and Ella Manley is here from Calhoun, Georgia. She is just a freshman. Ella, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having
Good
us.
deal. Chris Adams, not a freshman, but she's here and has been here for a while and has done a terrific job being the steward of this program for so many years, and so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Good deal. One thing I didn't talk to the guys about and want to talk to you all about, because I just mentioned the tennis facility. You guys have one of the most incredible facilities to practice over at the Grove. We had the grand opening for that. In my mind, it was like 2 years ago. It was probably like 5 years ago. But talk about what that does for you as a head coach, from everything from being able to practice and play at a great golf course and all the places that you all have playing privileges at, but to a place that you all can go and get better every day.
Yeah, the Grove offers so much because it's a fantastic golf course that we can play and get prepared for tournaments, but the practice facility is where it's at. You have our back end, but we have a driving range and our own putting green, chipping area. We have the indoor facility that has the TrackMan, and we can do that with good weather, bad weather. We have a lot of people everywhere I go that ask about the Grove and the facilities, and hey, can we get the paperwork on what you guys did and how you guys did it, and it's a special place. And honestly, for recruiting purposes, if you wait till the last minute to go out to the Grove, and you've already got them on the line from looking at the other facilities that we have in town.
Yeah.
Then you take them to the Grove, and they're like, we get to practice here? So it's a pretty special place. Not many people have that, and we're very fortunate.
It's a beautiful place, and it's you have obviously the teaching areas and all of that, but you've got some really nice hospitality areas, and you all can host some things there, and I would imagine that is a terrific piece when it comes to recruiting, because not much prettier than being out there around sunset.
Definitely not, for sure. That setting on the 18th green in the clubhouse is pretty cool.
Ella, did they have to pull that out to get you over the edge to sign to come here?
I honestly loved it from when I visited. It was beautiful, and loved the campus, and loved the fact that freshmen can live off campus as well. That was also a big plus. But the Grove, no, it's beautiful. I love it. One of the prettiest courses I've ever played.
Yeah, and when it comes to being tough, you've as a high school and collegiate golfer, you played in a lot of places, and as an amateur, what about that course do you like, and what are the real challenges out there?
Yeah, it's very challenging. I think it can get you prepared for collegiate golf tournaments. Just bunker placements. I think the Grove might be the hardest golf course I've ever played, because in Georgia, where I'm from, we don't have courses like that. So it's very, very
Well,
challenging.
there's one in Augusta that's okay. So,
I haven't made it to that one yet, but plan on it one day.
yeah.
No, but it's beautiful, very challenging, and makes me better every time I go out there.
For you, to be able to play there, what about the way that course plays helps develop players?
Just the layout of it is already challenging enough. The fairways are tight. You get a lot of tight lies, like she said. The bunker placements and the fairways and stuff prepare you to be able to hit shots off the tee to specific locations. But the greens are what makes that golf course challenging. They're small, they're undulating, the ball goes off on them. So you have to have a really good short game. And it really develops your short game, because you're not going to hit all the greens when you're out there. So just by far a championship golf course that not everybody gets to prepare for. Now, not every golf course is like that. The course we just went to for conference is nowhere near that. But this makes you hit precise shots and gives you just opportunities to be better at your short game.
before I want to talk and let you give some props to the other places that allow you all to play and to get better. But there's been a Corn Ferry tournament there at the Grove for the last couple of years, which has been terrific. But they're going to have a live event this year. Tell me what you feel like that's going to be like out there.
I mean, even the Corn Ferry events, the way they set it up for it, it's set up more like a PGA Tour event. I mean, if the Grove does anything, they do it first class, from just how you get range balls. They're just not in a pile. They're in a nice little, leather satchel or in a pyramid. They don't just roll it
What about a
out.
bucket?
No, you don't. They greet you at the bag drop, and I mean, they're just really good people, and they just do everything first class. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when you bring the Live Tour there compared to the Corn Ferry.
Kind of rock and roll golf.
Oh, it's going to be, I've seen the setup of what it's going to look like down 18, and it's just going to be a big old party, for sure.
Well, with Corn Ferry, they had the one area that had the floating guitar that you could pitch to and things like that. So, I mean, if you're a good putt-putt player, then, you could have really helped out with that. But that is coming up, and it is at the home course out at the Grove in Arrington. But that course is not the only place where you all have playing privileges and are welcomed with open arms. And this is I wanted to give you that opportunity because I know you guys are very grateful for the places that you all do get to go play.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Champions Run has another indoor facility that we use a lot, the Jeff Hendricks facility, and it's just one of those places that you can go out there. I mean, and when I call and ask if it's available and can we come out, I mean, they're just begging you to come out. They love to see us out there. It's just a place you can go out there, and it just feels like home, and the back end is all ours, and, we can set up nets and things, but they're just really getting that. Their golf course has been redone. We have not been on the facility on the golf course.
Because it was closed down for a few months to be redone,
their
right?
greens last summer. So we have not been on the golf course since then. And right now, currently, Old Fort is closed, and they're redoing their greens. So this spring's kind of been hit or miss with the Grove. They had 9 holes shut down at a time. Now they got the whole thing shut down till about late August, till school starts. So Stones River has been fantastic for us this spring. Very inviting, and there's not a time that we call out there that they don't tell us no. So we've been very lucky to get Stones River on the docket this spring because it was a lot like the golf course we just played.
Yeah, and the conference tournament was this past weekend. You guys finished 7th in the tournament this year, and talk a little bit about it, of how you felt about it, because one of the quotes you said you just didn't think you were at our best as a team that weekend, but it kind of comes and goes, and there are ups and downs throughout it.
Yeah, golf is one of those things that 3 weeks ago we placed second and we're in contention to win, and Ella finished runner-up also as an individual. So golf is just one of those sports. A lot of times you got to really feel good about the golf course that you're on, and we're lucky to go down to Texas and practice and play at Blue Jack before we got to go to our conference event. So you get out there, and the golf course is set up. I mean, it's a great golf course. It's a public golf course. I think it has to fit your eye. And with golf, I think there's just times when maybe it doesn't fit perfectly, but you just have to adapt. It's a pretty short course. You had to play a lot of dog legs. It was pretty dormant, to be honest. I know we're in Texas, but their grass had not come out. They had a lot of winter kill. So all in all, I think the golf course was there for the taking, the greens, but there was a handful of greens that were pretty sandy. You just didn't have a lot of grass. So, if you're in contention and you want to make putts and stuff, it just didn't have that feel, I think, for our players as much. But nonetheless, it was a great layout, fantastic facility. Sam Houston, being 30 minutes from there, are very familiar with that golf course and played outstanding. I mean, they're deep. They made a substitution after the first day with a girl that shot 74. So she got out, we're out, someone else is in. So they're pretty deep right now, and they've got a lot of internationals on their team, and they play great. So we just probably, I think in our games, it was just, I think we went for a lot of pins that we shouldn't have, and you know, some weeks are like that. You just have to kind of try to tone them down a little bit and make them play smart and safe. And, you know, the second round we did that. You know, the first and the third we probably didn't as much. So,
Well, Ella, you played in the fall, you played all 15 rounds and came in, and as she was talking about how you attack golf courses, how do you go about in your mind when you look at a layout of you know, how is going to be my best, am I really going to go at it hard, or am I going to play a little more careful? What all goes into that process?
Yeah, so for me, I know going into the last round, yesterday actually, that we were in 7th place, and honestly my mindset was attack the golf course like you have nothing to lose, honestly. And so first hole, I was under a tree because there was 2 trees in the middle of the fairway, and so I knew that if I hit it under it, I could get it up and be on the green and 2-putt and get a par. The next hole was a difficult par 5, and there was a creek like running through the middle of the fairway, and I laid up left of the bunkers, and then there was a bunker right in front of the green, and I was like, well, there's no reason to lay up because it's 215 over the bunker, like I can get there. So I hit a perfect shot right on the green, and actually didn't really, I bogeyed that hole, but in my mind it was good. I hit a good shot, so I was proud.
so that wasn't the game plan, though, Chip. So just so you know, the game plan was to, you know, hit it out in the fairway and then lay up to about 80 yards, try to hit it on and make birdie. But, you know, again, coming out, each player kind of has their own mindset and wanting to go for it and try to leave it all out there. And that's what we were trying to do. But
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get to a final round and you want to try to make up some ground. I mean, you know at that point it's going to be risk reward kind of thing. So you can, you know, grip it and rip it and go from there. But talk a little bit about number one. Let's start with your teammates. Okay. And if you were going to give a scouting report on your teammates, give us a thumbnail on these ladies.
I honestly love them so much. Like in high school.
We're prefacing here before she gives the real scouting report. Okay.
Yeah, so like in high school, like I didn't really have like a close group of girlfriends, and so coming into MTSU and having that like team bonding, sisters, like it's been truly like amazing. Like to me, like my relationships with them are just beautiful, and I love them all so much. And they all, you know, we all have our different personalities, and we all have our moments, and so we've just learned to work with each other, and it's been awesome.
Okay, as far as scouting them as players, let's say that coming up this week that I was going to be announcing your golf tournament on television somewhere, and you guys were playing. And if you wanted to give me info, okay, here's how she plays, that kind of, so
Okay.
kind of give me a little scouting report, a 2-sentence scouting report on each starter.
So Lainey Campbell, she's one of my best friends. She can bomb the golf ball off the tee. I mean, way past like where I hit the ball. And she's an incredible player. And let's see, who else do we have?
AKA Big Dog.
Yeah, Big Dog.
Big Dog.
Her name's Big Dog.
Let the big dog eat.
Yes, exactly. And then we have Nicole Johnson, which her name for me is Claire. Clueless Claire. There's a whole story behind that. But Claire she just likes placement, so she plays it here and then there. Like we're not going for it whereas Lainey would be like,
She's more careful.
correct. Yeah, she's more conservative. Who else is there? Molly. Oh, Malls. My 5th year. Yes, Malls. I would say she's pretty. She likes to attack the golf course. I would say. Like I think her and I play very similar. And then we have Lauren. I'm drawing blank. I'm sorry. That's okay. Yeah, Lauren Gilchrist, our other senior. I would say her and I, we hit it about the same like yardages, and so if I walk up to a tee, I'm like, hey, like what Lauren have here, like what club? And so I'll normally hit the same club as her, but she's more placement, I would say too as well.
And Kendall Maynard.
Love her. So in the fall, so she was only with us for the fall, not the spring season. She had labrum surgery on her hip, so she was unable to join us this season, or this spring, which is unfortunate, but her and I actually, we hit the golf ball just alike, honestly, and it's the same thing, like same yardages, and she's very placement as well. Like we like to play conservative.
Okay, Kendall has two famous Blue Raider cousins. Do you know who they are?
Caroline and Catherine.
Caudill. That's
Yes.
correct. Very good. You answered that correct. Now, are you friends with Catherine Caudill?
We're
I heard she
friends.
doesn't like you anymore.
Oh, well,
Because you now have set the lowest scoring average by a freshman at 75.17, edging out Catherine Caudill by 0.02 strokes.
Wow.
So you just got knocked off the Christmas card list.
It's a good thing you made that last putt.
So that did it.
Yeah.
That probably did it.
Coach helped me on that, so props to her.
Good deal. Good deal. You talk about you've got a bunch of seniors. When you go out now and recruit, I would think that recruiting in golf and tennis is kind of a nomadic lifestyle in the summertime, because here you go, you just take off and you're going to this tournament somewhere and all that. How wide a path do you put out there when it comes to finding future players?
Well, here in Tennessee, I mean, being the center of Tennessee, we go,
That really helps.
no question. From Memphis to Johnson City, I try to hit all the junior tournaments in the state of Tennessee. Currently, though, with Ella in Georgia, I've got some Kentucky players. Lauren was from Alabama. Generally speaking, I try to drive to as much as I can and see the players that I'm watching.
Chris appreciates that you're not getting airline tickets.
And nearly, I think when a player shows interest and I've located who I want, when she sends me her schedule, I go everywhere she goes, as much as I can, and follow that person in every tournament. I've narrowed it down to, I've already got two players coming in next fall from the state of Tennessee, and then for the following year, I've got about 5 or 6 on the radar for whether it be 2 or 3 spots. So once I get their schedules, I try to travel to everything. Now, once they, in the month of June and July, they have a lot of qualifiers to get to the national events, and sometimes, Chris, I'm sorry, they're in California or Florida or New Jersey. Again, I think to represent Middle and to show them that you're really interested, you try to follow them to those events and make sure that they know that you're really interested in them. And I think a player that really matters to them. I know Ella, I did the same thing. Everywhere she played, as much as I could, I showed up, and a lot of times she didn't even know I was there.
That'll make you feel good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's what I do. Personally, I think I see a lot of coaches that kind of come and go and watch for 3 holes at a time and leave. I just don't like to show a player that. I like to show the true, and I like to see them throughout the whole round. And if they have a bad hole, how they're going to come back from it, and all those kind of things. So yeah, the summer stays pretty busy. You can be gone 4 or 5 out of every week, every 7 days, and it gets to be a lot, but especially the months of June and July.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, you think about, okay, football guys are going to be here all summer. For the most part, they'll have their player-led practices starting soon. Basketball, they go home for a little while. They get back. Baseball ends up playing in wood bat leagues, wherever they might be. But pretty much when the spring semester's over, all of these girls, they're going to play in amateur tournaments all over the country. And really, I would assume that FaceTime and all that stuff is how you keep up in the summer with them, because they're gone to the 4 winds.
For sure.
Yeah. Getting ready for next fall, first of all, let's wrap up this group, because you always have a good group that is not only good on the course, but very good in the classroom, and also very good in the community. And what would you like people to know about your team this year and the kind of ladies you have on this squad?
Yeah, this is a great group. I'll be honest, in 26 years of coaching, this is one of the top 5 that I've had as far as all getting along, having great camaraderie. They love to spend time together on and off the golf course. And with females, I know I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but when they get along and they're happy, they're going to play better. And so, you know, that's a big part of recruiting as well. You know, we're coming off of a disappointing spring, minus a couple of tournaments here and there and some rounds, but, you know, not having a couple of our players that were, you know, the top 2 scoring averages from the fall, not with us this spring. I think they're gonna really dive in and have a great tournament schedule this summer and be ready to go. They're both coming back slowly, so we don't, you know, push the gas too hard there. But with the core coming back and the 2 coming in, I know that, you know, we're going to be 7, 8, 9 deep, where this spring we were only 4, 5, 6 deep. You know, so it really hurts a little bit, because the way Ella Manley is going to get better is when someone else pushes her. You know, she's...
It's going to make those qualifiers during the week tough too, which is good.
Yes.
And that's what, you know, as a coach, I'm doing them a disservice if I'm not bringing somebody in that can challenge them.
Right.
You know, with Ella being the low scoring average this year, ending up the season as the low scoring average as a freshman, you know, the expectations are high, but we're going to bring people in that are going to challenge that. So I know the group that I've got coming in, we're going to have year-end meetings here in the next week and talk about what they need to do over the summer, and we're going to hopefully right this ship over the summer, be ready to roll in the fall.
Good deal. Ella, do you know what your summer schedule's looking like yet?
Yes, sir. I have a lot of state AMs. So I'm from Georgia, so playing in the Georgia State AM, playing in Tennessee State AM, Tennessee Open, Tennessee Match Play, qualifying for USGA Women's AM, and I believe...
The football?
Oh yeah, USGA 4-ball. I'm going to play with Lainey Campbell, my teammate.
Okay.
We're going to try and qualify for that.
I want to ask you this. There's the old phrase that a rising tide lifts all ships. And one of the things that I think all Blue Raider fans can be very proud of and have been very proud of is the emphasis that has been put on women's athletics. And obviously our women's basketball team got great exposure this spring after having a terrific year and beating Louisville in the NCAA tournament and facing LSU on national television on a Sunday. And then you add in all of that with the Caitlin Clark and she being, and it has drawn attention to women's sports. Tell me what it means to you to see that happening.
Yeah, I think drawing attention to women's sports is going to be awesome. It is awesome. We see that Caitlin Clark, she's just as good as any NBA player. She can shoot lights out. We've seen that this year with our women's basketball team. They played incredible. I know watching them, we watched them beat Louisville, so that was really good. That was a core memory I'm going to say for myself, because watching them, we were at Champs. We were practicing and we were watching and cheering and. But I think it's going to be great for the game, for any sport, honestly.
Yeah. What about you? Chris, because you've been in around women's athletics for longer than Ella has, by a year or two, and to see that breakthrough and to know here on this campus when you have the support of the administration for women's athletics across the board. Here today, Chris is here, Diane's here. They have been the real champions of this.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see over the years what women's sports has come to, and I know there's plenty of times, even this spring, that we had our iPads out on the golf carts during a practice round watching our women's basketball team. We've done the same thing in the past. So these girls they know what they have in front of them that we didn't have years ago. It's exciting, I think, for women's sports to know that we're pretty equal to the guys as far as everything is concerned, and in fact, I think I don't think I'm misspeaking here when I say that the women's NCAA tournament was a little bit more popular maybe than the men's this year. Could have been a reason some of the teams that weren't in it for the men's side of things, but for the most part, I think these girls know what's in front of them and they know the opportunity that they have, and I know our administration is extremely supportive of our sport along with all the others.
I think the star power for sure was in the women's tournament this year. Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, coming up next week, number one, exams are coming up.
Exams.
And but on study day next Thursday is also the Raiders' Choice Awards.
Yes.
And you are a freshman.
Yes, sir.
So have you been informed by your teammates of what what's going to be happening, what you all are going to be doing to get dressed up? Are you feel like y'all are going to come out and set the tone for how all of the female athletes are going to be dressed next Thursday?
Yes, I'm excited. I love to get dressed up. Like, I'm very much like a girly girl. I love to do makeup. I love to do all that stuff. So that'll be fun. But
It's really fun because everybody comes together.
Yes.
And because everybody's doing their own thing throughout the year, but this is the one night all year where all the teams get together, and like we said, we want to get the men's golf team flown back in here on next Thursday so we can all be together there. But have they told you anything about it, what to expect?
they just say, like, there's a lot of speeches, so be prepared to sit through that. And then, I mean, not really, honestly.
We're normally done in Nathan, about an hour and 45 minutes. It moves along pretty quickly. Now, what we're waiting for you is to develop a talent to where, whether it's singing, playing an instrument, something like that, where you can be featured in next year's Raiders Choice Awards. What would that be?
I mean, I can sing, but your ears might bleed.
Okay.
But, I mean, I can, like.
Listen, she's going to be, hopefully you guys will find her on the blue carpet before we go in, because this one is not shy by any stretch. Our first trip of the fall, she grabbed the mic from a nice person trying to do trivia night and made it karaoke night. So at a bar and grill in Mobile, Alabama that we were eating in. So she is not shy, so I would grab her on that blue Raider
On the blue carpet out there.
carpet. If you don't, you're missing out.
All right. Well, thanks for the warning. I appreciate that. And congratulations on a great freshman year.
Yes, sir.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate you guys coming today, and it's fun to put the spotlight on your sport.
Thanks, Chip. We
Appreciate it.
appreciate it, as
Thank
always.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, this will be archived, and you can go back if you missed any of this with men's or women's golf. And we'll be here again next Thursday at noon. So be sure and join us right here on Facebook with the Blue Raiders Spring Sports Show. Good afternoon, everybody.